Well, hello, everybody. My name is Aaron Niedorf with IFC National Marketing here in Minnesota. And if you don't know who IFC National Marketing is, we are an insurance marketing organization that operates all over the country. And our goal in life is to support independent financial advisors and insurance agents with life insurance, annuities, disability, long-term care, as well as Medicare and health insurance, including group. So if you're in any of those markets, we'd love an opportunity to chat with you. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to John Stadtmuller of Good Advisors Finish First. And every day, John and his organization tries to bring value to independent financial advisors, just like we do, but in very different ways. And they've been a great partner to IFC, and really excited to have John with me today. So, John, welcome.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. If you could tell everybody about yourself, your story, and more about Good Advisors and what you guys do.
Sure. So John Stadtmuller, been in the financial services industry for 20 years now as a wholesaler, advisor, broker-dealer, back office. And over that time in the industry, as many of you are aware, the best value that advisors get is from networking, connecting, sharing best practices, ideas, resources with one another. And so 4 years ago, I leapt off the proverbial corporate America cliff to build a community for financial advisors expressly to serve that purpose. And really what Good Advisors is a place for advisors to connect directly with one another, and then also connect with the resources that are going to help support their businesses and their clients. IFC, there's advisors that need the services that these different providers and sponsors like IFC provide to those advisors, but everything needs to come and funnel through the advisor's lens. When the advisor is working with the clients, has the experience, has the relationships, knows boots on the ground what those clients are looking for, and so trying to bring those advisors together to share best practices, find the right resources to support their clients. That's what Good Advisors is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the things that we got really excited about when I heard about your organization, John, when we first talked, you talked a lot about community, right? And you see that all over your website, and John has a great website, by the way, with all kinds of information, links, videos, forums, archives, things like that, so you should check it out for sure. But the community you talk a lot about, right? So explain a little bit about what that community is, what type of advisors should consider joining Good Advisors, and what kind of subject matter experts and things that you guys actually discuss on a weekly basis.
Yeah, so there's a set of principles that are really guiding what we're doing, and the first is everyone is invited. And so what's important in what we're doing is we really want to cast this wide net to begin with, where you have advisors with significant tenure experience in the industry. You have advisors who are just starting out, just getting going, and then everything in between. So everything starts with this everyone's invited mentality. And the second principle is seating is limited. We only have so much time, and so it's important for advisors at these various stages, at the different practice styles, to connect directly with other advisors who may look more similar to them. And so there's even more value at these small groups in opportunities for advisors to connect directly. And so the community just provides this forum. Everything starts, we have an open forum. So this private digital feed where advisors will throw out case studies. They'll throw out, I'm looking for an accountant referral in a certain area. I'm using this particular technology tool. I'm trying to assess an annuity situation in this case study, who has ideas, who's been down this road, and advisors will pop into those conversations, share insight with one another. And again, it starts at this very wide level, and then from those conversations, the conversations that become the most prevalent, the most engagement, where there's the most interest, we'll take those topics and we'll run those into a series of events. We call those Hear from a Peer sessions, where an advisor will lead a roundtable discussion, and from those discussions, it's an ongoing thing. Most of these conversations are living, they're perpetual. Mm-hmm. So we start at wherever things are today, and then we're going to revisit those conversations in the future. And so again, case studies is pretty prominent. FinTech, what advisors are using, especially with AI, that's been a big topic of late. How advisors are delivering a client service model from efficiency standpoint. standpoint, from a profitability standpoint, and products is obviously a big one as well. That advisors, there's so much out there. How do I decide what's going to be the best fit for my practice, for my clients? And so we provide this opportunity for advisors to engage in this digital forum, in these events, and then everything is archived, as you mentioned. And so advisors can go back in, watch replays, they can share resources. One of the things that really set this up for me, and where I felt like this really was going to be something different, something unique, and something valuable, is the amount that advisors have been willing to share. Somebody will share a resource that they built for their practice that they're utilizing with their clients, and I'll say, hey, do you mind sharing that with the rest of the community? This is what that community feel is. Yeah, no problem. Let's share that. And so we'll upload those documents, those resources, so that other advisors can leverage those, but then also can make it better for the person who originally provided that document. And so that really is a big part of the feel, is that community aspect.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's where I see a lot from the outside looking in. That peer-to-peer sort of sharing of ideas and strategies, I think, is huge. You know, when we've done events at IFC and other organizations I've been with in the past, that peer-to-peer opportunity where advisors are coming in and sharing those ideas, that always gets really good reviews. Like, everybody's really engaged, and I love to see that advisors are willing to share ideas and not worry about, are they my competition type of a thing, right? There's so much business out there. I don't think most advisors are overly worried about that, but there's so much value in that. Right, like when I go to events on my side of the world, in the insurance world, and one of the biggest values I get out of that is meeting my peers. Right, how are you guys doing this? How are you handling this issue? And you learn different things, little tidbits and ideas, or it affirms what you're doing. Right, and a lot of times that's what advisors are getting out of your organization. And I think the other thing to mention too is, you know, as you bring in subject matter experts, outside folks like IFC and others, you know, our role is to come in and just provide value. Right, we're not trying to pound and shove things down everybody's throat in terms of, you know, this product or that product. It's really about ideas, concepts, strategies. How can we add some value, which is what we focus on a lot. Right, at IFC, is how do we bring value to insurance agents and financial advisors, and how can we help them incorporate insurance into their practice, right? And we kind of get in where we fit in, and that seems to be sort of the model that you have, that when you bring somebody in, it's really about just add value, and if there's an opportunity that an advisor wants to work with somebody, they'll raise their hand and reach out, right? So I think that's a great model. It's a safe place where advisors can go, be part of that community, but also at the same time not have a bunch of, you know, wholesalers trying to you know, drive them crazy with a million phone calls and outreach and things like that. So,
well, you mentioned, Aaron, you know, what type of advisor is attracted to the. It's not everyone. We have a set of core values that really drive what the community is all about. Really, it starts with that, and abundance is one of those core values. So the advisors that really believe in that, this isn't my competition. This is an opportunity for us to grow together. Reciprocity is another core value. I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better by sharing and having this mentality. And that is who we're attracting as far as our sponsors and partners as well. You talk about the commitment IFC has to helping foster these relationships, advisors, study groups, getting advisors together. That's what really, I think, brought the advisors to the Good Advisors community, the people who have that mindset, but also organizations like IFC that really get that and understand where that real value is for the advisors.
Yeah, I love it. That's you know, I think why we're so excited to be a sponsor and a supporter of Good Advisors. I think what we're doing is it really kind of parallels and lines up pretty well together. So, yeah. So where do you see insurance organizations like IFC fitting in, and others that you might be working with? How can we best add value and bring information to advisors?
You know, it starts out, and again, we start with this wide net. Everyone is invited. So part of what makes the community unique and different as well is the community. The express purpose of the community is to provide that community environment for the advisors. And so each advisor has their opportunity to kind of dictate their experience in the community. So again, you have some advisors with a lot of experience with selling life insurance and utilizing that with estate planning, using that for protection purposes. You have some advisors who haven't really incorporated that in their business, and so there's opportunities for IFC to come in and help advisors across the spectrum, right? Is somebody may have an advanced case situation where where they may have experience with life insurance, but haven't really implemented a particular planning strategy. And so bringing in that subject matter expert can be extremely valuable. And again, one of the things that really makes IFC stand out is that commitment to these study groups and that learning experience. You have those advisors who are just getting started, or maybe haven't, maybe they're established but haven't incorporated annuities into their practice, haven't incorporated insurance, but those things do have a purpose. There's clients that have those products already, and how are you servicing those clients in those situations? So again, it really depends on where advisors fall, and then this leads back to those smaller study groups where we can pair people together that are in those different stages.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, we try to get in where we fit in. One of the things that we do, and we know, depending on the advisor, insurance can be a very small part of what they're doing, or not at all, or a huge part of what they're doing, right? And so we always get in where we fit in, and we try to just help them wherever they need help. So life insurance you mentioned, but we do a lot in the annuity space. We do a lot of long-term care, disability. Again, health insurance, Medicare is huge. When you look at financial advisors, they oftentimes have retirees. That's kind of where a lot of advisors focus in retirement income planning and things like that. It's the same client as a Medicare client, right? So there's a lot of synergies there, and so some advisors are really well versed, and we just are sort of their back office and help them get comfortable with whatever it is that they're trying to do and whatever recommendations they're making to their clients. But we also have a concierge program where we can bring in point of sale people where advisors maybe don't want to do life insurance. Maybe they're phenomenal at annuities, but life insurance isn't their deal, or long-term care is not their deal. So they can bring in somebody from our team and they'll do it for them. Right, and it's still their client, still their relationship. We're just an extension of their office, and so that's one of the things we try to do to bring value to advisors. For those, especially that don't do a lot of insurance, that's a really good platform for a lot of people.
I think that's super important because, like you said, you have some advisors who may do very little insurance business, or maybe not at all, right? But this is a big thing that I've taken on, and I believe is extremely important. Is if you're going to represent yourself as holistic, as comprehensive, and providing these services to your client, if you're not addressing those things and talking about all these things, how are you covering long-term care? How are you protecting yourself? Maybe you don't necessarily sell those products, but having a partner, having somebody who can provide that service on the front end for the advisors to talk about that is extremely important. But from a servicing standpoint, from an implementation standpoint, it's huge to have a partner that can help with those things, because you have to offer, or at least provide insight on those different things, again, even if it isn't part of your core business.
Yep. Yeah, that's fantastic. So for advisors that are interested in Good Advisors, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you and your organization?
So Good Advisors, finishfirst.com is our website. That actually, we talked about this, that will send you to goodpeoplefinishfirst.com. And we have this private community. It's called Good People Finish First. And we can share a link for people to visit the community, and there's an opportunity to see a glimpse of what the community looks like. And then creating a profile is the next step in learning a little bit more about the community. And then we do have a subscription service for advisors that really want to dig in, really want to learn, grow, and connect and network, share best practices with their peers.
Yep. All right, fantastic. And for those of you that want to check out IFC, just Google ifcnationalmarketing.com. All of our contact information is in there. My contact information is in there. Feel free to reach out anytime. And John, we're excited to be a sponsor and a partner, and looking forward to where this goes in the future. So thanks for spending time with me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aaron.